So again, I come back to this thing about, man, there's a lot of men that need to have the sort of community that you've created in Warrior Protocol to help them to wake up, understand what their potential is, and like you said, build that strategy to get them to that point so that they are playing full out 100%. And they've built a fortress, an iron wall around their home front, around their business, around their future successes.
I love it, man. And that phrase you use, fearfully and wonderfully made, I've heard you use that before. It's phenomenal. You know, my thought listening to that is you're absolutely right. One of the things in that situation that you brought up of, you know, a friend who sees a friend doing something which is going to potentially cause massive problems for him, his family, his kids, everything. The question you have to ask yourself is, which is more important to me? My friendship or my friend?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And am I willing to sacrifice a friendship to save a friend? Well, for me, absolutely. Because I know my priorities. I know my values. A lot of people get caught up and I shouldn't offend. Listen, if I catch you or I notice you doing something which I know is out of alignment with who you are, and I can see how it's going to cause you problems, and I say, hey, Charlie, I want to talk to you about something that I'm noticing. Here's my observation. Me expressing that to you is my business. You getting upset or not, dude, that's your business.
Exactly.
I don't actually care, and I have to live that way. Now, here's another piece of this. Most traditional cultures would have something along the lines of a man's lodge or a man's society, and that was a place where men could go and talk about the shit that was bothering them, talk about the challenges they're having, and resolve it with the help of their brothers. And as you have no doubt noticed, and I'm sure your people watching this have noticed, that doesn't really exist for the most part in our current culture. And what that leads to, unfortunately, is a lot of men who will go to their wives to express their challenges and their problems and their pain. And oftentimes, that's not fair to their wife, in my opinion. Sometimes it is, and transparency is incredibly important. But sometimes it pays to go to a man to solve a man's problem. And I know that sounds chauvinistic, but that's been my experience. Oftentimes, women want to make it okay and reduce the pain. When guys come to me, sometimes I will have no interest in the pain. We can have a discussion about what's right and what's a reflection of the man that he truly wants to be. It's just a different conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I get the point about it could sound chauvinistic, but look, in the day, if I want to improve, I want to get better, it's not about chauvinism. I mean, if I was trying to figure out ways to put my wife down or keep her under my thumb, sure, that you could label that as chauvinistic, but the reality of it all is just like you said, right? I mean, I've been created a man. I think differently. I act differently. My wife thinks differently and acts differently. But that's the great part about the husband-wife union, or not even a husband-wife union. You could be a man-man, woman-woman union, but personality-wise, we are created differently, and it's supposed to be that ability to blend, right? I can't be everything that she is, and she can't be everything that I am. Having said that, then that can't. I can go to her for advice and seek her opinion, but she's seeing it from her perspective, not necessarily the one that's right for me. And I buy into that whole concept of there should be a community of men that are out there and available to check each other's six, to keep us all in line, so that we don't find ourselves in deep weeds and then suffer the consequences or have to work years to get out of them. I would rather stay ready so I don't have to get ready and really put up that iron fence that I was talking about so that I minimalize the drama and nonsense that's all out there waiting for all of us.
Yep, I love it, man. And to kind of continue this thread, I talk to a lot of guys, I do a lot of coaching calls, and I work with a lot of guys who are struggling to find the masculinity that they really know they need. Again, whatever the reason is. There's a guy I was talking to recently who he grew up, well, this is kind of a quick funny story. I asked him a question. Very, very direct yes or no question. I got a 5-minute looping answer full of stories and things that happened and some feeling stuff. And I listened, and he finally stopped, and I said, you were raised by your mother and probably some sisters, weren't you? And he said, yeah, my dad was in jail. My dad was in prison. And again, it's not good or bad.
It just is.
It is. And he'd learned to communicate in a certain way. But when it came with the guys that I roll with, there are times, especially I look back to my military stuff and the martial arts guys I roll with. There's times when I need a yes or no answer, brother, because we're going forward. And he had never really had that experience. So a lot of guys have just never had an upbringing or a model or an example of what empowered, compassionate, loving masculinity looks like. Now, here's the challenge. There are a lot of guys out there learning how to be men from their mothers or from their wives.
Or even something like MTV, right? Let me throw that one into the mix. Sorry.
I'm not even including that. If that's your source, you have more problems than I could ever hope to fix in 10 lifetimes. So let's focus on the ones who are savable. I kid. Everyone's savable at some point. But if you're getting your advice on how to be a man, how to be a husband, how to be an effective masculine leader from a woman, I guarantee you she's doing her best, but her best may not be what you need. And it's another reality. Iron sharpens iron, men keep men sharp. Oftentimes the reality is that women don't keep men sharp. Women often have a deep desire to make their men comfortable. And if we allow that to be the one overriding influence in our lives, guess what? We become very comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's counterproductive for us. It's counterproductive for our families as well, because whether there's that one day, that one moment when things hit the fan and you're not ready because you were fat, happy, and comfortable, or like you were talking about at the beginning, the economy goes down, or you have an opportunity to grow your business and create an entirely better world and life and experience for your kids. If you're fat, comfortable, and happy, you're going to be slow and you're going to miss it. If you're I used to help one of my mentors train hawks. He had a beautiful red-tailed hawk. I actually got him this hawk as a gift when he started mentoring me. That was my dues. And very, very expensive red-tailed hawk. And he did a great job of keeping it at hunting weight, because when a hawk is too well-fed, it won't hunt.
Yeah.
If it's too skinny, it can hunt. But there's a hunting weight where it's lean and mean and ready for action. And that's where we want to keep ourselves as men, because that's where we're effective.
Man, that sounds like a great title to a book, The Hunting Way. Is that something you're working on?
Hunting weight? Let me write it down. Yeah, I'll knock that out for you next week. No worries.